Good. Morning, guys. Mark Fresh with Protect Dog Training. I've got one of those sable German Shepherd males that I was telling you about 5 months old, just got done teething. And as I was telling you, I'm leaving him in the kennel. I was a little bit, not giving him as much work because they're so flighty and their brains just float all over the place. So now I'm just starting to get a little bit more concerted effort. You saw my film the other day with both of them. This is Roman. And I'm going to start trying to get you guys a film, not every day, but every few days. I'll see if I can give you a film so you can see the differences. So right now, this guy's been out already this morning, and he did pretty good. So I wanted to show you, I've got food. I'm using it as a lure. And this dog has no concept. He's got a little small pinch on him. I'm not really doing it for any other reason than to put tension like you see here and teaching him to give to pressure. And as soon as he does, notice I gave slack. And I'm not yanking him around or anything. I'm just using it as a tool to teach him to give to pressure because I could do that or I could yank his head off with a choke chain. I'm not going to do that. So I'm using food, trying to get his head in the right state. Keep in mind that when we work a dog, you're going to end up having patterns. You're going to go on patterns. So it's pattern and routine. So that means that we want to work the dog at the same time every day if we can. The morning times when I pick for him, it's usually when I do work my puppies and my dogs. In the morning or in the evening when it's cool because we have to deal with the desert heat out here. So in a general sense, I always pick the morning time. They're usually the friskiest and they're saying hello to the world and they've got a lot more outpouring in that regards. So then what I do is I find out where the dog's head's at. And I'm just trying to create patterns that the dog will draw on and start my training routine. So right now that's what we're doing. First thing is to pick up something you want to work on, and that's kind of giving the pressure. And that's one of my main emphasis right now, is he starts learning to give the pressure and he understands he's got a leash on, he's not yanking on the leash, basically giving him some leash manners. Then we can get more. We're going to go ahead and move out here to all our stuff and our tools, and then start showing you some of the patterns that we're going to set up with this dog. All right, so we've got Tina's out here working a dog, so she's going to be in our way a little bit, but that's all right. Come on, good boy, good boy, good, there you go, good dog, good, yes. So one of the first things we're using is luring, so that would mean that I'm picking another objective, which would be to teach the dog to come into the luring hand, target hand is what we call it. And that's what I'll be doing a little bit now. I'm looking for my clicker. If you see me digging in my pockets, it's because I want my clicker. I can use a clicker, which is nothing more than an auditory stimulus that the dog triggers into, and it's classical conditioning. Been done for a while. No clicker, so that's all right. We'll live without it. And I'll just be using yes instead. But if you hear my yes, that's my terminal bridge marker. So all I'm going to do right now, yes, good, is kind of load the clicker or load my marker in the word right now. Yes, because he's already used to coming after the hand. Notice this? Yes. He's coming into the hand. He's going after the hand. He knows that this is basically a signal that he has the opportunity for a reward, the opportunity for food, which is his reward. I keep moving backwards because I want to create movement. Dogs are always happiest when they're in movement. And when they're young and flighty brains and they're like a butterfly, like I was telling you, that's what they're going after, the drawing off of attraction. And so that's what you're trying to do, is just get the dog to go after this hand. So let me go ahead and start working him and stop chattering to you guys a little bit. Yes, good boy, good, yes. And then you'll notice I have all these tools out here. I have bowls, I have a table, and those are my main two things that I use in the beginning. I'm going to present my hand. He already has this wired. Notice he's getting it. And I'm going to start teaching him back end awareness. I'm using spatial pressure, bending into the dog. And anytime I do something one way, just like you and I, we're right-handed or left-handed, we want to do things balanced. So I'm going to do right side and left side. I want to balance everything I do so the dog doesn't get stuck and only know how to go one way. So, and the objective in the end is to get the dog's back end awareness to be more into my legs, so he'll flip this way, obviously. But if I did one way, he's not going to have a really good, true awareness of that rear end. So I want to have everything balanced in that regards. And the reason I have two bowls out here is because I believe, personally, this is my opinion, that dogs are happiest in movement, and you want to break the brain from flowing. And if I stay static, I stay right here, the dog starts getting bored and doesn't want to work as long, and will start shutting down on you, and you'll have a lot of other outlet behaviors because the dog's bored. And he's a young mind, so I do a lot of movement. So I'll say, yep, and I'll move to the other one. Get the dog on it, and yep, good. And again, he's happiest when he's in movement. So you break that brain, you free it up a little bit, and you go back to your patterns. And everything's patterns. So right now, we're creating a pattern. It's the bowls, the table will be his little world for a little while. Good. And then what I'm working on with his back end awareness. So that's where I'm at now. Let's go ahead and take him to the bowl. And I'm also, yep, good boy. Teaching him a break release. All it is a break. It means that you're free to do what you want to do, and it's a happy word. I might throw a ball, I might do some other things, but it breaks away from what you're working on. Again, being conscientious of the dog, being bored. What happens with you when you're in class and you're studying and you're not really enthusiastic about something, your mind shuts down and you don't learn as well, and you don't learn as productively as if you're entertained, you have something. So you always have teachers that are real good, and they'll put together a class lesson, and they'll have something that entertains your brain a little bit along with the lesson, and that's when you learn the mess. So we're doing the same thing when we're breaking. Yep, we want to be conscientious of drive, so it's not too much. Oh, what's that? What is that? Huh? What is that? Oh, good boy, good. There you go. What is that? Good, good. All right, so then we're going to break. Yep, all right, and we're going to go to the table. Hup. He's already got this wired because I've been doing a lot of the hupping on the table. Yes, good. And these are things that are familiar to him. And we're going to build on that. So that's our first little pattern and routine that I'm going to start building on. I'm luring into a down, and notice I'm not giving him a word. I'm using spatial pressure. I pushed into the dog. That made him want to sit up. I don't have to do any corrections. You notice I'm not doing any corrections. I'm not forcing the dog to do anything. There's a light tension when he goes out of bounds and he pulls against that leash, and that's what the pinch collar is all about. Just enough to give him awareness of it so that he gives to pressure, and as soon as he gives to pressure, he gets a reward. So if he goes away from me, right away there's pressure, pushing a little bit of tension, nothing fancy, and then right away praise and a reward of me moving backwards and reaffirming either the yes or some kind of yep, good. So this is where we're at. All we're doing is this little bit right now. I've done the bowls and I've broken onto the table. And I'll start from there and start building the dog. And I'm also working on leash pressure and trying to teach him to give to pressure. I'm not yanking his head off, I'm just putting a little tension on it. Not now, but in general, when he does go out and start getting a little rowdy, I'll put tension on it and then right away show him the signal, which is this. He knows how to get the target hand now, so we've got that to build on. So it all starts with pattern and routine, and it's really small little increments, and then I will layer in something else as I go along. I'll start building on this. But you got to figure out where's the dog's head at, and what do I need to do to build? Where do I need to be? And that just gets creative. So in other words, I sit there and I think about it and I feel it, and I say, okay, this is what we need to work on. And then I stay consistent with what I'm working on, and I build and develop the dog's mental attitude with doing these little routines. Yep. And all it is pattern. Good boy. From here, and I'll work him. If I can work him twice, 3 times a day, I'm a happy camper. Usually twice, morning and then evening. And I'll build on the same pattern each time, and then I'll start branching off of that to add other things to our little thing. How did I come up with this? Nothing is exact with any dog. They're all different. So you have to kind of feel it and figure out, what is the dog giving me? What can I do with him that'll start this whole process of building, just like you're building a house. And then you want to do it in the right way, because if you don't have floors that are level, if you don't have walls that are square, you're going to end up with a house that looks all jumbled and messed up. But if you build the house properly from the ground up, you're going to have a well-trained dog, and that's what it's all about. Yes, good boy, good, yes, good. And now, because I didn't have a clicker, and he's responding to yes, I'm going to go ahead and keep that. I'll do a little bit of clicker in between, because it reaffirms what he already knows, and we have a tool in our tool bags when I want to use it. I use clickers because they're very clear, they're very exact with their timing, and it's something that you can always have in your toolbox. So I always use clicker first, then I go into my yes marker. Good boy, good, yes, good. See how happy he is with that movement? And it's just nothing more than a pattern and a routine. Yes, good boy, good. And then I might throw in the ball, and this is what I'm going to do with him now. Yes, good boy. and I'll start doing some ball play. So this is very fun for him. There's no you have to work. It's a matter of we're out here having a good time together. Now Roman's problem is you see it right now. He wants to take off and do what he wants to do. So what we're going to do to solve that is we're going to start putting a 20-foot line on him. Gives me something to step on to stop this behavior and to check that, and don't let it become a problem. Right now he's showing this behavior pretty consistently. So again, I've got to remember that I need a 20-foot line on him because I need to stop this behavior. So it's not a good thing. I want to keep him with me in a little bit more of a general sense. So, all right, I'm going to let you guys go. This is Mark Farash with ProTech Dog Training. You guys have a good day, and we'll be coming back and forth with these guys, letting you see how they develop. So I thank you very much. Have a good day.